Plaintiff Jashawn Ricketts has been friends with the defendant for over 15 years, and she was his support system when he was struggling with a drug and alcohol addiction. Jashawn says he's been clean for 180 days, and he's suing his former friend for breach of contract and rent. Defendant Jessica Martin says she never knew Jashawn was a drug addict, but she claims his alcohol addiction was so severe that she had to separate herself from him for months at a time. Jessica denies owing Jashawn for anything.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Your Honor, Jessica's been my friend for 15 plus years. One of my biggest confidants. She's been there with me through a lot of ups and downs. Your Honor, I struggled with not only alcohol addiction, but also drug addiction as well. I struggled with cocaine and also ecstasy. She's been there. In 2017, I decided to turn my life around, Your Honor. Not only have I been doing NA and also AA as well, but I'm also in an outpatient treatment program. Completed almost 180 days.
Clean?
Clean.
Really good. That's 6 months. She got her mouth all twisted up like she gonna give me a different story about that being clean. Let me hear from you.
Like he said, I've known him for 15 plus years. We even went and got matching tattoos this year.
You all date?
No, we're best friends. What do you mean?
I'm saying, I don't get tattoos with my best friend.
Yes, you do.
I'm a friend of yours.
You say, yes, I do.
Yes, they do all the time.
I thought you said, I do.
People do it all the time.
Oh, people. All right.
Okay. Anyways, he's lived with me a few times throughout the years. Back in like 2006, he was living with me, and I was there for him when he was dealing with his sexuality and becoming who he is. I was also there for him in about 2009, we started partying and drinking a lot. He took it a little over excessive, and when he parties, he gets angry sometimes, he gets violent. Sometimes he's just wild and crazy.
Must not be ecstasy. Ecstasy is a feel-good drug.
I don't even really know about his ecstasy problem. I only know about his drinking problem. So he's admitting more to you than...
Mean drunk?
Big time. So we started partying. I mean, there was times that I had to just completely back out of being around him for months on end because the drinking was just too much.
How about the cane? You a cane head? He said he's a cane head.
I've never done it in my life.
Okay.
Then there was 2011, he was in an abusive relationship. All of that involved alcohol. The guy he was with was a lot older than him, probably like 15, 20 years older than him. And there was a lot of abuse going on during all that. He would call me crying about getting his whooped, excuse my language, and all of that. And I mean, I did what I could for him, but what do you do? So, and then, the drinking never stopped. He got into some legal trouble with it. Back in October of 2017, he again got into a situation with his current partner, if they're still together. He got drunk, busted out the windows of the car, ended up going to jail. They get evicted from the apartment, and then that's when I come and let them live with me.
Okay. Hope you all gonna maintain your friendship because you're attached forever.
No.
Got the same tattoo?
This is over.
Well, you know it's not.
Oh, it is.
Every time you look at that tattoo, you're gonna have to think about him.
I'm always gonna be a
Because he has the
J.
same thing, so it's not over.
I'm always
Ever.
gonna be a J.
Go ahead.
Regardless to the fact, Your Honor.
Regardless to what fact?
Regardless to the fact of whether or not we'll still maintain a friendship or whether we do or not.
Right. Doesn't matter to you? Okay. Let's talk about your breach of contract and your rent that you're suing for.
Well, back in October, I did go to jail for domestic abuse with my current partner. And when I went to jail, we had got evicted from the apartment. Jessica,
we as in whom?
Me and my partner.
Mm-hmm.
And Jessica had allowed us to come and stay with her throughout the time. At first, there was no contract of rent. Rent didn't come until later on down the line. However, I was then released from jail in November 19th, I believe is the exact
17th.
So I'm sorry, November 17th, I was released. Throughout that time, there were bonds paid that were of my money, totaling $1,250. And the agreement was that when that money was returned, I would get that money back. And I have not received that money back.
As a return from the court?
There was originally $250 that was returned from the court, and then there's $1,000 that's set to be returned on the 26th of this month.
All right. And that is it's anticipatory breach of contract, meaning her actions and anything else may indicate that she doesn't intend to pay you your money. Now, what actions has she gotten into with you prior to you asking for the money up front?
Well, as far as when the $250 was returned to her, I asked her before the check even came. I asked her, what were we going to do about the bonds? She told me that I would get the money when it came. Okay, this was when we originally fell out.
And what happened? To cause you to believe you weren't going to get the $1,000 later.
Because we were at a point to where the friendship was dissolved.
Over
there
what?
Wasn't. Well, Your Honor, back in February, I had another court case. And I had another court case. I couldn't drive to the court case. I asked Jessica if she wouldn't mind taking me to the court date. She said, I have no problem. I'll pick you up from work. I'll take you. The day of, Your Honor, she sends me a text message and she says, well, I can't come and take you because I want to go and do what I want to do with someone who was just released. Okay, that's what led to the falling out. That's what led to everything else.
Go ahead.
So when she told me that she couldn't take me to court for whatever reason, she wanted to go and have
Y'all
fun.
fell out. Got that.
We fell out. And so when we fell out, she then told me that I had 30 days to leave at that point. And so after that, on the 6th of March, she reached out to me because my partner had then went to the house. And my partner had went and took a few things.
So you think because you fell out that you certainly weren't going to get your money back, so you better get her while the getting is good.
Not essentially, sir. Not essentially. Because when I reached out to her and I asked her, Jessica, what is it that we can do? What are we going to do about the bonds? She told me that when the money came, that she would take it to my dad. No problem.
Well,
Okay?
it hasn't come yet.
No. This is in regards to the $250, Your Honor.
I don't want to talk
I
about
don't have that, Your Honor. I have not received that.
You believe
was
she's
already-
going to breach the 1,000, which hasn't come yet.
No,
See how
Your
you mix
Honor.
me up with all this jail? I was in jail and that bond. Then I was in jail for that bond. Now, you're already entitled to the $250 because she got that in her hand and didn't give it to you. You're not entitled to the $1,000 yet because she hasn't gotten it in her hand unless she has expressed that she does not intend to pay you when she gets the $1,000. Done.
There hasn't been any.
All right, well, she doesn't know you that yet. She hasn't breached that yet because it hasn't come into her hands yet.
I understand that, Your Honor.
All right, and what is the rent? Tell me about rent.
Well, Your Honor, as far as the rent goes, we pay rent on the 1st, utilities on the 15th. There was rent paid to her for the month of March.
What was your share of the rent you were to pay?
$345.
$345 was your share every month.
That's correct.
All right. So that's your share. And what are you saying about her?
Well, Your Honor, on the 6th, she contacted me via Facebook. And what happened was that my partner went to the house that morning. He got some electronic things from the house. I was already given the notice that I had until April 1st, not a problem. So we left one house key because at that point we were already.
How does she owe you for rent, sir?
Well, how she owes me for rent, Your Honor, is
Yes,
because
sir.
she asked me not to return back to the home unless someone
you
was
had paid
there.
for that month?
And I was paying for
referring
that
to?
month, Your Honor.
All
That's
right.
correct.
All right. Ma'am, what do you say to this?
Rent, it was actually $314. My total rent is $1095. There were 7 people living in there. If you divide it by 7 people, it's $157 each. So it's $314. That is what he paid me. On the 6th, when he returned his key, I feel like any landlord, if I return my key to you, you don't live there anymore. So that is when I told him don't enter the premises anymore. He came and got the rest of their stuff on March 23rd.
You left your items there in March.
Well, Your Honor, when I tried to go back to go and get them, after she asked me not to come back to the home on the 6th, I then on the 8th began reaching out to her and trying to make arrangements to come and get my things because of the
And what happened?
Well, there wasn't the first weekend. It was her daughter's birthday.
She told you.
So she told me I could not come. She told me I could not come that weekend. We tried to make arrangements. Never got any response from her.
You called her or texted her?
I texted her and I called her.
And she never responded.
And she never responded back. So
texts
then
or
finally, on the week of the 23rd, I sent her a message and I told her, look, I have made these plans to come on this day at this time to come and get my things. And I had the other key to the home. So I advised her that if she would not let me in, that I would allow myself in order to retrieve my belongings. Because at this point,
all right. Do you have any of those communications where you tried to get your things and she would not make them available to you, or would not make the time available to you to pick them up? What did you want to tell me, ma'am?
We did have an agreement that the weekend of the 9th, on the 11th, that Sunday, he was supposed to come get his stuff after he left church. He contacted me that Sunday night and told me he could not come get his stuff because he had financial and legal issues going on.
He never attempted again?
Huh? Yes.
He never attempted again?
The following week, yes.
And what happened?
And I didn't respond to that one because
Why?
I was busy. I do have children. I work.
And
I
you
have
never
a lot going on.
responded since?
And I'm not
Did you
going to
ever
jump in.
respond
Yes.
after that?
Yes.
When did you
Contacted
respond
me the week
after
of the 23rd.
that? Pardon me?
When he contacted me the week of the 23rd, the day before he came to get his stuff, I told him I'll see you at 8 a.m.
Okay. So from the 18th to the 23rd, you didn't respond?
No.
Why?
I had nothing to say. I didn't know if I
you
was
do
gonna
have
be busy
something
that
to
Saturday,
say. You
or-
either say I owe you or I don't, or you owe me or you don't. You
We
do
weren't
have
talking about
something to
money at
say.
that
When you
point.
get sued, you better have something to say, or it's called a default
We weren't
judgment.
talking about
Judgment
money.
for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
I wish her the best in life, and that's all I have to say.
I ain't got to say to him. He can.
Plaintiff Corinne Hubbard says while dating the defendant, they drank excessively and used cocaine until Corinne checked herself into rehab. Corinne claims she's been sober for 2 months, and she's suing the defendant because he wrecked her car. Defendant Terrence Shepard admits that he and Corinne used cocaine, but insists he did not introduce her to the drug she was already using when they got together. Terrence claims after the accident, Corinne only cared about her car and not about his well-being.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Okay, Your Honor, I met Terrence when I was 14 in middle school. We dated for a small period of time, and just so you know, years passed. He spent some time in prison for, I guess, drug use,
Distribution.
distribution, and I was a teen mother.
You what?
I was a teen mother during that
Oh,
time.
you're a teen mother.
Yeah, I was a teen mother during that time.
Got it.
So years passed, and we just recently ran into each other in January. When I saw him, I was very happy to see him because over the last couple of years, I've always had him in my mind.
Why just the last couple of years? You've known him since middle school.
I have.
Y'all used to go out a little then.
We did, but
And when you saw him, you had sparks, and you said, "That's what I've been thinking about the last 2 years."
Well,
You have not been with him for years.
I have not.
But you just started thinking about him 2 years ago. So the other years, why weren't you thinking about
I
him?
had a lot of things to deal with, and he was far from my mind that I had to take care of.
Suddenly your mind became free.
Yes, it was free, yes.
Go ahead.
And me and Terrence got into a relationship, and it was great, but it wasn't a good kind of great. We would drink and party together, do coke and shop and whatever we wanted to do, and we had a lot of fun. But I realized I was becoming a person that I did not see myself becoming. So I checked myself in rehab. I've been clean and sober for 2 months. Working very hard.
Good.
Thank you.
How often were you using?
It got to the point where it was every day.
Okay.
I was drinking. My alcoholism I've been dealing with for years. But I'm finally admitting to myself that I do have a problem.
Good. Good. That's the first step. It sounds like you're on your way. 2 months. You go to NA classes?
I am. I'm actually finishing up my 6-week program Friday.
That's very effective, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I tell people that.
I'm in AA, and I feel like AA is the most like.
So they're not combined? I thought they kind of went together. I thought when you go to NA meeting, you also talk about your alcoholism. You say, I'm a dope fiend and an alcoholic. Not making fun of my NA folks. I'm so glad you all go in AA. It just sounds more time efficient. They want you to work so you can stop the temptation with an idle mind. Idle minds is the devil's workshop. If you are not working, you're going to NA and AA all the time. And on the way back one day, just kidding. I know you're strong, and if you go as often as you feel you need to, you'll be fine.
Yes.
And did he go into recovery?
No. And I really do hope that he does take.
When did you all break up, if you have?
I don't really consider us broken up.
Right.
I'm there for him whenever he needs me. He's there for me whenever I need him. We communicate fairly well.
They all still kiss.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Y'all ain't broke up yet. Sorry, let me hear from you.
How you doing, Your Honor? Yes, like Corinne said, we met around 7th or 8th grade, dated briefly. I don't know what me going to prison has to do with this case, but that most definitely happened. I came back into town around last year, reached out to her via Facebook. We started talking. The drug use is right, most definitely.
You turned her out on cocaine?
Most definitely not.
She was already using?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, the relationship was good, and the relationship was good until I crashed her car.
Okay, and that's what we're here for today. She says you're still addicted to cocaine. Is that true? And do you
Most
think you
definitely.
need help? I mean, that's your business, but I would like to help you if you're addicted. Are you? Need any
Yeah, a
help?
little bit.
Well, I'll let you talk with my producer about whether you'd like some help with it. All right? And we'll help take care of whatever help you need. All right, let's, and you don't appear to be far gone, so we should be successful. I can tell when they're far gone, it's a lot more of a struggle. So, how does he owe you for the car and the towing fee?
Well, he took the car and tried to pass a truck and a no
With
pass.
your permission?
I guess with my permission.
All right, when was it?
April 19th.
All right, and what happened?
I guess he tried to pass a truck.
He was on a run.
Not a passing
Say he
lane.
was on the run.
He's 2 months, so
2
they were
months?
going to get some.
That was over 2 months ago? That was over 2 months ago. You sent him on a run. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I sent him on a run, but it wasn't. It was for drugs, actually.
About the 10th run. Go ahead.
Well,
ma'am.
that wasn't the case. No, he just my daughter just went to the dentist, and we needed to go and get some medicine.
For your daughter.
She just had teeth taken out.
All right, so I can play with that too.
Yes, you
All
can
right.
if you want.
So you just went to get some medicine.
Yes.
I know you did. Go ahead. Go ahead. So what occurred?
He called me and said, "I just totaled your car," and I was kind of shocked and numb to the whole.
Numb.
Yes, I knew that
You keep saying yourself.
I gotta choose better words. Yes.
Go ahead.
I didn't react the way I thought I would. Mm-hmm. He basically let me know that the car was totaled.
Total. Mm-hmm.
And
And the value
sorry?
for the, how much is the value?
well, I bought the car for $2,500.
Do you have the blue book value?
I don't have the blue book.
When
value.
did you buy it?
It was just coming up on a year.
Okay. Sir, let me hear from you.
What happened was the night previous to that, we most definitely went to the doctor. Her and her daughter was sick. Both had some colds or something like that. We come back to the house, spend the night. Then that next morning, I offered to go to Walmart to get the medication, and in the course of me driving there, I was just kind of pedal to the metal. It was a bunch of traffic. I was behind, and I was getting impatient. So I'm passing cars on the right, and I get behind a pickup truck and an 18-wheeler, and I did too much. I was coming up on his left side, and I see his blinkers. I'm like, this is not happening. Next thing I know, the door exploded, and I'm in the bushes. Driver runs up on me.
You were thrown from the car?
No, sir. The car just slid into into an embankment. So yeah, I'm just happy that I wasn't injured in no way, shape, or form. But kind of like the thing that bothers me about the situation is that I feel that she doesn't care if I was hurt. Like, she just cares that her car was hurt. So.
What did she say that make you think that, or not say?
She didn't ask me if I was all right. She was
Really?
just like, was the car like, is my car all right? I'm like, nah, that car is done. It's over.
I would like to just shed some light on
Yeah.
why I wasn't really, I'm not sure. I feel bad for saying this, but in all reality, he was not home the night before, and I was on the couch waiting for him all night, and he came home and told me he again. Oh, sorry. And I asked him to go get the medicine for me and my daughter, and I was upset that he messed up again.
Last night he hadn't come home, and now
Right.
you shouldn't give him the car.
So-
You know he still was coming down. What time was it?
It was 9 o'clock in the morning.
9 a.m. and the man just coming in. The man been getting high all night. He was still high.
Well, I wasn't really sure what he did the night
You
before.
were. You got high for how many years with him? So since
No years.
January? Now you're going to play like you don't know what cocaine does to you.
Well, I'm saying I don't know what he did the night before. He just did not come home.
Oh, okay. You knew what he was doing that night. You worried that I'm going to dismiss your case because you knew. I'm not going to do that. He admits to being negligent, so he's liable. But don't act crazy like you didn't know what he was doing all night, and he came home and I gave him the car because I thought he was playing cards all night or teaching Bible school or in Bible study. Yeah, right. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day, brother. We're going to have the producer talk with you.
I'm just glad that at least somebody got what they want.
But I hope that with everything out on the table, we can get together and build this relationship that we believe that we can have. So
I'm good.
Plaintiff Michael Lister dated the defendant's mother, and he claims when the defendant was a minor, she was drinking and using drugs. Michael is no longer with the defendant's mother, and he's suing the defendant for unpaid loans. Defendant Paula McAdams says the plaintiff did date her mother, and when Paula was a minor, he would give her drugs. Paula believes the only reason Michael is suing her is because he wanted a romantic relationship with her.
Start with you.
Your Honor, I met Miss McAdams through her mother back in 2009. Shortly after meeting her, we started to date. Paula was doing drugs, smoking marijuana, and drinking alcohol.
That you were giving me.
She said you were giving it to her.
I saw it.
She said you were giving
He's
it
given
to
me weed. He's let me party in his basement when I was younger.
her. Sir, is that true?
It is true.
Then what are you criticizing her for? You facilitated it. You were complicit in it.
It was I couldn't control it.
You watched it. You provided the opportunity as opposed to say, stop. Don't do it. Wrong place. Don't do it in here. You're not going to do it. You didn't do any of that, sir. So don't come here criticizing her now. You helped make her a dope fiend. You're not a dope fiend, are you? Crackhead?
No.
Okay. Well, thank God she ain't smoking crack, sir. Go ahead.
Shortly after that, her mom and I separated in 2015.
And you still mad.
I'm sorry?
You're still mad about that, aren't you? I can tell when you come. Or maybe not. This is the first time you smiled. Go ahead.
Paula and I stayed mutual friends. In December of 2017, I approached Paula and asked what she was going to do about getting her daughter's pictures taken for Christmas. She said at that time she couldn't afford it. So I said, well, I had done it in the years past, so I said I would pick up the tab.
Good.
That same month, Christmas was approaching, and again, I asked Paula if I could help out and buy her daughter some Christmas gifts.
Good. And you can maintain your relationship even though you weren't her father and you'd only been with her mom for 6 years.
Correct.
All right, good guy. All right, let me hear from you. Give me some background.
Honestly, I think the only reason we're here today is because I won't be with him more than like a stepdaughter. All the times he's taken me out to eat, did stuff for me and my daughter, all the things he's done for us, I think that he was trying to do more than that. Now that, my mom brought it up that maybe he wants more,
What made you think he wanted something more? Because that's a very inflammatory statement to make.
Just who, takes a girl out to nice restaurants and offers all this and gives them money and...
I take my daughters out like that.
But I'm not his real daughter.
I have goddaughters I take out like that. Has he said anything? Out of all these times you all were alone together, has he said one thing that you would interpret as him hitting on you or coming on to you? Just said one thing, not what your mother didn't fill your head up with later.
No, Your Honor.
Right, so don't say that because he would have done that, I promise you. All right, you tell me about the loans, sir.
In January and February of this year, after Christmas, and Paula asked me if I could help her out on a few loans. I agreed. The repayment was for when she received her tax money.
You're talking about he was trying to manipulate you. You know you were trying, anytime you tell somebody you're going to pay them when their tax come, you're the one doing the manipulating. Go ahead.
I'm sure you hear that a lot.
You're never going to get paid again, yeah.
I even paid for the taxes to be done.
That's rough.
All right, so
I paid for my own taxes to be done. I did it myself. If you did pay for them, I didn't know you paid for my taxes to be done.
Yeah, you paid
I'm pretty
her.
Sure it came
you paid
out of
her
my
to
check.
do her own taxes,
and
right?
if you wanted the $400, you could have told your friend that did them to take it out for you. And all the times you gave me money before, why would you give me more money?
His friend that did them. You just said you did them. Go ahead, sir, with the loans. When was she to repay? Upon income tax time?
Correct.
And when did she borrow it?
Over the course of January and February of this year.
And it was $400.
Yes.
All right. And last time you've asked about it was when?
When she did receive the money.
Oh, she did get her income tax.
She did receive the money, and at that time was to return the $400 to me. Mm-hmm. However, she told me that...
Hold on. You been to college yet? So it's not student loans. Some state services over the years. I'm trying to go through all the usuals. Why they can't pay even when they get the income tax. The car. Can't get to work because of the car.
Correct.
There you go. I knew it. I know all of the income tax stories, Doc. Either somebody took it from you, or you need it for your transportation to go to work to earn the money to pay you. And you can't beat that one.
No.
Car broke down. Then what?
That's about it.
All right, ma'am. What do you say to the loans, if they were, and repayment?
In my heart, I thought that he wouldn't have hounded me for the money as soon as I got my taxes. He knew I needed a car. It didn't just break down as soon as I had to pay it back. I didn't have one at the time. I have a daughter. We needed to get places. So in my heart, with our relationship, knowing him, I thought maybe, we can make a payment plan one day. Or I just didn't think I would be hounded.
Why do you think suddenly he became inconsiderate of your circumstance, particularly with a child, knowing that you needed to get around? Why do you think?
He does drink a lot. And I think at night he might sit there and fester about things, because usually when he would text me about, oh, I want the money, I'm gonna take you to court, it was at night. And
tweet or text?
Text.
3 a.m?
I don't know.
Make America tweet again. All right. Go ahead. All right, so he gets drunk and tweets at 3 a.m. in the morning. He tweets craziness at 3 a.m. in the morning to you. All right. Follow your leader. Go ahead. What now? What's that, Mel?
That's it. I just thought in my heart we could have made a payment plan. He knew my car situation. I just didn't.
Did you say that to him though? Did you say that? He says your income tax return came and you just didn't respond to him. Why didn't you say, hey, you know I'm having a hard time. I know I told you I was going to pay you my income tax and I'm trying to get a car, me and the child.
And I should have. Brian.
Why didn't you think of that? You never knew that she needed, well, you say she needed a car. You knew that.
Correct.
Why didn't you think to be more considerate then?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, she got $4,400 back, and I only gave her I'm looking for $400. Now I assume, and from what she told me, she bought a reliable vehicle.
Yeah.
Now again, when tax time rolled around, I'm not doing this to hurt her by no means.
I don't want to be used, and I'm sure you feel used. And when you get drunk, you feel more used at night. And when it's late at night, you really get angry. All right, and you go after all your enemies late at night, and you talk crazy to them. All right, there you go. So he's just doing what he knows to do. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you. Well, I wish Paula the best, but a loan's a loan. I mean, again, I have done a lot of things for a lot of people and forgiven a lot of people. When you promise me you're going to do something, I expect you to do it.
I mean, you're right, a loan's a loan. I just thought you would be a little bit more considerate.
Well, you know I love you, and I'd do anything for you, even to this day. You know that.
I know.
Plaintiff Lily Griffith says the defendant is her father, and when she was a child, the defendant was a heavy drinker and cocaine user. Lily claims the defendant physically abused her when she was 13, and after he got custody of her at age 14, the defendant sent her to a wilderness program and then to a boarding school. Lily's suing her father for property and emotional distress. Defendant Andy Griffith says Lily was a troubled youth who was using cocaine and running away from home. And she called the police on him so much that he knew the officers by name. Andy admits that he sent Lily to a boarding school because she was out of control, and he refuses to pay her a dime.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, I feel like a child shouldn't have to go this far as to take their parent to court. But when I was younger, we got along a little better. He was always working. He was drinking a lot along with my mom. And he was using cocaine.
That's not true.
Since I was 10, like just from when I was born to 10.
How old are you now?
I'm 19.
You live with him or used to live with him? I see you suing him for personal property.
Mm-hmm. I lived with him for like a month and a half.
What year and month?
2015 in April to May.
Okay. And you didn't live with your mom?
I did when I was younger, yeah. And then when I turned 14, he got full custody of her, or of me.
Of you?
Yeah.
But you're 19, so what happened in the 5 years in between?
He sent me away to a wilderness program and then to a boarding school. When that happened, he got custody of me, and for a week I ran away because I didn't feel safe being at his house.
What about the wilderness program and the boarding school? How did that work out?
Well, when I got there, I felt better being there instead of with him, but I was still confused onto why I was sent there. I was smoking weed, but like, I don't know. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
How did you do? You did pretty well in school?
I graduated high school when I got back.
Good. And you're 19, and you furthered your education? Good. What did you do after high school?
Like a month after, I went to cosmetology school at Tony and Guy.
Good. So why do you say you felt uncomfortable at your dad's?
After my parents got a divorce when I was 10, I felt like he became very angry, and we would constantly fight physically and verbally. There was this one time I was supposed to go back to my mom's house a day early, and I texted him, and he said, "You're not going back." And I said, "Well, you said I could go back early." And then he came over to the house because his office is across the street from his house, and he came back, and he walked in the door, and I put my phone in between my legs, and he reached in between and grabbed it and threw me down on the ground and grabbed the back of my hair and started slamming my head into the ground multiple times. And we kept fighting, and he kept yelling at me and calling me names, and he pulled my hair and he was choking me. And
How old were you?
I was 13.
Judge, at what point do we put her on a lie detector test?
Hold on. What'd your mom say?
She couldn't do anything, but when
yes,
she came
she could.
to the hospital that night,
You went to the hospital?
yes.
How long were you there?
I was there till I got there at probably 8 o'clock at night.
What did the police say?
Well, I called the cops twice that day. I had a big bump on my head, and the cop told me he really wanted to do something, but he didn't have enough evidence. So then we got in more of a fight. So then I ran away, and I called the cops again down at the neighbor's house. And that's when the cops came, and the cop didn't want to do anything.
Did you tell the doctors what had happened to you?
Yeah, and they took
And you
pictures.
told the police?
Yeah,
And
they
they both
took
said they
pictures.
couldn't do anything for you?
Yeah,
even
and
though
they
you were
let me
laying
go
there in the
with my mom.
hospital?
Yeah, and they let
All
me
right,
go back
something
with my
doesn't sound
mom.
right. Let's hear it, sir.
Well, she had the cell phone. She was texting me some ridiculous foul language with the cell phone. I came home. I took the cell phone away from her. She tried to get it back, throwing things at me, throwing her fists at me.
That is not what
You
happened.
gave me your version, ma'am.
We didn't get in a physical confrontation. I held her till she let go of the cell phone, and that was it.
She went to
called
the
cops.
hospital, though?
No, nobody went to the hospital.
Did you go to the hospital? Okay. Ma'am, it's hard for me to believe you did, because the hospital has a legal responsibility to make sure you are removed from the household at age 13. Did Child Protective Services come?
Yes, I've been in contact with them
No,
a lot
then,
of
that
times.
time,
They
when
came
your
in,
father
they took
beat you
pictures.
until you were hospitalized, did Child Protective Services come?
Yes,
And what did they do?
they took pictures.
No, they didn't remove you from the home?
No, because my parents had split custody, and I went home to my mom. My
To your
mom's,
mother's home?
Yeah.
And then they allowed you to go back to your father's house soon?
Whenever it was time to go back.
How soon?
I think the week after.
A week later.
at a time. Week at a
After
time.
your father beat you,
Yes.
Child Protective Services said, now you can go back. 1 week later. Yeah, I don't believe you. Don't believe you. Tell me about the nature of the relationship with your daughter.
Well, obviously she's 19 and knows everything, and she's entitled to everything. And it pretty much got worse.
Why did you keep her instead of her mom?
Her mom just an unfit parent, and I went into court and had the judge decide who was better fit, and the judge said her mom's not fit to be a parent. Her mom's alcoholic, has blackouts all the time, and just an unfit parent. So she lost custody. When I got custody, that's when things really went bad, when I got full custody of her, because at that point, her therapist and myself talked about what would be best for her, and we put her in a wilderness program, one of those wilderness programs. And this one happened to be
Because she was
endorsed.
already troubled.
She was already trouble, yeah. She was running away, doing drugs. She's doing the cocaine and everything. I couldn't keep a leash on her. And her mom was out of the picture. Her mom was just an alcoholic. So the wilderness program that I chose was actually endorsed by the Dr. Phil program. So, and it was close to where I live, about 6 hours away. Put her in that, and that's about a 6-month program. When she graduated, we decided that she's still not ready to come home. So I found a boarding school, a therapeutic boarding school, all girls.
Who decided, the therapist and you?
Yeah, both of us. Actually, if we didn't do that, she probably wouldn't be standing here right now. Who knows where she'd be. So
She's
got her
still
into
under
the boarding
treatment?
school.
She's still receiving treatment?
counseling? Or
No.
therapy?
She's 19 and she doesn't need it now because
she
she knows
needs it.
everything.
She needs it.
She knows more than you.
I would like to do therapy
Okay, we're gonna help you. We're gonna get you some. We'll
because
take care
of
that.
you.
We'll take care of that, young lady. I'm gonna ask you to stop doing this to your dad because you haven't come across as honest, and now I'm hearing why.
Yeah, the police came out so many times that I knew him by name.
She would call the police
Yeah,
on you?
she would call the police. And they
ever
never
arrested?
took me to jail or anything. In the boarding school, she didn't complete that boarding school because there are certain steps you have to take, and you get to a certain point, then you can come home for a week's vacation. When she came home for that week's vacation, she took off again. And at that point, then child custody services got involved. And they thought, what's going on here? So they got involved, and I kind of backed out at that point because I'm like, you know, what else can I do here? And they took
You
her
want
and
to
put
tell
her in a
him why
foster
they
home.
got involved? Please.
They put her in a local foster home, and they put her in an alternative high school, and they at least got her to graduate high school. And that was, at that point, that was the main focus. She was 17, and I was like, okay, we've got to get her a high school diploma. And that's all that everybody, you know, at that point, that's what
now,
everybody.
somehow she got into cosmetology school. I assume.
Well, yeah, she got out, graduated high school, things started going good. She moved back in, she started going to cosmetology school. It was costing me a bundle of money every month. I'm paying for that. Bought her a car, paying for her health insurance, paying for her auto insurance. She'd come over to my office, to my shop, get a tank of gas every week, you know, paying her room and board, and transferring money to her account all the time, you know, and everything was going fine.
So what happened to bring you guys here today?
Well, she decided that her dog was more important than my house, and she.
What does that mean?
She let her dog just poop and pee all over my house, tear up my screen.
No, I
tear up
did
my
not.
house, tear up my girlfriend's shoes and everything like that.
Okay.
So I told her, I said, Lily, you're gonna have one. It was a Friday afternoon, and I said, Lily, you're gonna have to, fix this door. You're gonna have to clean up the carpet. You're gonna have to do this and do that. She just walked away, and I said, you walk away, I'm gonna ground you from your car for the whole weekend. And so she just kept walking away. So I put a clamp on the tire of the car. We took off for the weekend. The next day, my neighbor called and said, Andy, she got Lily and two of her male friends out here. They're trying to get that clamp off your car. So I texted Lily and I said, Lily, that's grand theft. I said, leave that car alone. You can't take that car. And then she left, and she just, she left the car alone and everything. And I come home that Sunday afternoon. At that point, then I had to tell her, you can't live here anymore, Lily. You simply can't.
What property is she suing you for?
She's got right here. Do you want the pictures? She's got 4 boxes of clothes.
Okay.
Right there.
Why does she have to sue you for them?
Because I told her I'm not going to give them back to her. They're not hers to begin with.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
mine. I paid for them.
No, you did not.
Okay. Well, lady, I'm going to let you talk, but you have to get yourself together over there. Personal property and the emotional distress. How does he owe you? And what does he owe you?
When I was there and he yelled at me, he called me names. And then the night that we got in a fight, he said that I need to leave and I can't have any of my stuff. And I said, why? And he said, because I paid for it. And I said, no, you didn't. My mom has transferred money into my account. I've made my own money.
You have any list of how much the personal property is worth? Do you have your list? Is there any other evidence you or either one of you want to submit?
Get those pictures, anything else?
Not about the personal property, no.
What else do you have?
I've got some texts here that just kind of shows how she treats me. Here's one in particular.
You see it?
Yeah.
Do you have the text messages that you sent me too?
This is you. We really need to talk. I just don't understand why you hate me so much. Did you go to school today and yesterday? It's good talk from a dad. Your response, young lady, it doesn't matter where I live or what I'm doing, or what does matter is you get rid of my S because you're a piece of S and a deadbeat dad. You've never ever been involved in my life. When I get married, guess who's walking down the aisle by myself? Not you. Okay. Some of the things you say, sir. You have lied to people about me for the last 10 years, Lily. You have told the police that I beat you, that I threw you out of the truck when you jumped out of the truck. You even told people that I raped you.
And I never said that, and I don't even know where that came from.
I do not want anything to do with you unless you change your ways. we're going to help you get counseling, and we're going to give you your money for the things that he's withholding. And then I'm not granting you, young lady, anything for emotional distress. What we are going to do is get you some help, because it appears to me that you need help, a significant amount of counseling and therapy.
Yes, because of the things he has said to me.
No.
And
no,
what has
that's
happened?
not why. Young lady, that's not why. That's not why you need it. It's not why. We're not going to blame him. He's done everything he can for you. He's done much more than a lot of fathers I know who are trying to raise girls by themselves who have been damaged. Nope. Sir, my hat's off to you.
Thank you, Your
For
Honor.
everything you've tried to do. She is troubled. And that's why when she came to live with you, a man, didn't have a mother in their life, that's tough for a girl. I know girls who are like that, who their mothers were not capable of caring for them or just didn't want to or abandoned them. Sound like she just wasn't capable, that's all. Doesn't sound like she loved you any less, she just wasn't capable. So, good luck to you both, and young lady, we're definitely gonna help you, and we're gonna grant you $900 today. So you win, all right? Good luck, and we're gonna help you. Have a good day, sir.
I would like to see her get some counseling. I would like to see her get some help, and maybe both of us can work on it together. Both of us go to counseling together and see if we can work something out.
Lily has taken advantage of some of the counseling sessions offered to her.